Hello and good morning. My name is Tammy Samarippa, and I am the Department Chair for Health Sciences here at Central Texas College. I just wanted to check in this morning and say hello and welcome. You are beginning an amazing and challenging adventure into the rewarding profession of health science, specifically nursing. Our healthcare professions are one of the fastest growing professions in the Central Texas area. And so we look forward to be a part of your training. Today, you'll be listening and working with a few wonderful members, very knowledgeable from our health science team. They're going to be providing you some key information to get you started and get you on the right track. So pay close attention. I wish you the best on your journey and good luck with the process. And I am now going to turn it over to Miss Sarah Nunez, who's one of our departmental clerks, to guide you the rest of the way. So have a wonderful day and a wonderful session. Bye-bye.
Unmute, Sarah.
There we go. Not
There you
muted
go.
anymore. Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Nunez. I work in the Department of Health Sciences. I work with the Vocational Nursing Program, but I also assist with the ADN program, and I am helping roll out the new massage therapy program. And I'm happy to present to you guys today about our nursing program. This counts as your nursing information session for all those applying for spring 2022. So let's get started. Let me share my screen. So the Department of Health Sciences is pleased to present the nursing information session. Be inspired, be passionate, be a nurse. The Department of Health Sciences offers the following programs: an associate degree in nursing program, which is a 2-year program, vocational nursing program, which can be a 1-year or 18-month certificate program, and we also have an articulation program. It's an LVN. You need to have your vocational nursing license or paramedic license, and then you will articulate over to the ADN program to become a registered nurse. What's the difference? The difference between the licensed vocational nurse, LVN, LPN, commonly known as, and a registered nurse is scope of practice. On the chat, you'll find links for the scope of practice for you to look at it further. Facts about the LVN program is you work under an RN. You're independent in some processes, areas, and in other areas you don't. You manage other LVNs, you can manage other LVNs and other CNAs. And the most important things that people look at is potential earnings. You're looking at $43,000 a year annually. It's a 1-year certificate program with an evening and weekend option. The RN, scope of practice, you're more independent in all process areas. You work in a variety of clinical settings. You can manage other RNs, VNs, and CNAs, and potential earning is about $66,000 a year annually, and it's a 2-year program once accepted into the program. And there'll be links in the chat to help you out. So what program do you choose? So a lot of people are not sure which program to choose. What you need to look at is your prerequisites, which is AMP1, microbiology, HPRS 2300, which is pharmacology for health professionals, English comp. It's a 2-year program. There's no nursing courses offered in the summer. Class schedule varies based on clinical access. One of the big things that people get hung up is that minimum GPA. You need to have a 2.8 GPA minimum. It's highly competitive, so we recommend that you try and get a 3.0 or higher. You get extra points when it comes to ranking, but you need to make sure you don't get any Cs. If you get a C, that'll hurt you and make you not qualified for the ADN program. Now, articulating has the same prerequisites as the ADN with additional courses that you need to take. And you still have to have that minimum 2.8 GPA. You also need to have, Tasha, 2 years work experience in order to apply. And there's a special class called RNSG 1229 that's only offered in the spring, and there's only a select number of slots available. So the next time this course will be offered, the RNSG 1229 will be spring 2022. If you have more additional questions regarding the articulation program, I encourage you to email us at dhs@ctcd.edu. Now we'll go into the vocational nursing program. The vocational nursing program, there's no prerequisites, but we do have co-requisites, which I think is important for you guys to look at if you're interested in the vocational nursing program, because you should take your co-requisites now. If not, that'll put you at 17 credit hours your first semester, and that's a heavy load for your first semester of nursing school. Also, it'll help if you take those courses before we rank, because you'll get bonus points when it comes to ranking. You'll need to have HPRS 2300 and AMP1 as your co-rec, or you can take it early and get bonus points. You still have to be TSI complete. You still have to take your HESI A2 exam, and the minimum GPA is a little bit lower than the ADN. It's at 2.0. We do have a nights and weekends program that will be starting spring 2022. That means you'll start January 2022 and you'll graduate May 2023. And they meet Monday through Thursday from about 5:30 until 9, with your clinicals either Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, depending on where it falls in the program. Next, we'll talk about cost. Total cost for the program, and it varies from semester to semester, is tuition and lab fees, which includes a differential, textbooks and supplies, your HESI A2 exam, your 11-panel drug screen, your FBI criminal background check. If you have to do a declaratory order, not everybody has to do one, but if something comes back on your background check, you might have to do one through Texas Board of Nursing, and that will cost $150. You'll need to have a physical, TB screening, immunizations, CPR certification, your lab kit, uniforms, transportation expenses, and you'll need to pay for your licensure. For the associate degree in nursing, we estimate costs will be around $10,000 total by the time you get out of the program. Articulation program, same cost, $10,000. Now, looking at the vocational nursing program, it's a little bit cheaper. It's $8,000. So you want to get started into the nursing program, you'll find this. It's a nursing checklist, and it's found on the CTC nursing website. You'll find links to the nursing checklist and to the nursing website in chat. Here, it'll take you step by step through the application process. So if you see on here, you apply to CTC, you attend a program information, you'll attend a program information session. You'll, which this is it, you'll submit your transcripts, you'll meet with an academic advisor, you'll need to be TSI complete, do your prereqs, HESI A2, Hep B information, all that. Anything in blue on this PDF document, when you click on it, it has embedded links and it'll take you to the website you need to go to or to where you can get more information. And again, the links will be in the chat. So the first step is to apply to CTC. If you're not already a CTC student, you can't put in your application to our nursing program. So go ahead and go to the CTC website now and start your application. It does take a little while to complete the application process. Please remember it's free, so I encourage everybody to do it. And then after you go through the application process, then you can go to the next step, which is applying to the program. So deadlines. Deadlines can be found at the CTC nursing website. There'll be links in the chat. We currently have deadlines up for spring 2022 and fall 2022. So when we go to rank, and we rank twice a year, we rank once in August, no, in September for the fall, sorry, September for the spring, and in April for the fall. We'll look at your prerequisites. So first with ADN, you have to take the prerequisites there. Articulating, there's a list of prerequisites there, and VN, you'll have to take those. You don't have to, but we highly encourage them. You'll need to submit a TSI status verification form. After you complete the process, you'll email us and let us know that you've completed the TSI verification process, and we'll verify your TSI status. You'll also need to take your HESI A2 exam. There are minimum score requirements. I like to tell everybody, if you want to max out on points when it comes to ranking, go ahead and shoot for 90% or better on your cumulative. That way you're well qualified for our program and you'll get extra points. Let's talk about prerequisites. The minimum required for class ranking. So you can go ahead and work on your co-requisites. We'll definitely look at them, and they'll be included in the GPA rankings. But at minimum, you have to have A&P 1 done, microbi, English comp, and farm for ADN. There's a list for all the articulating, and then VN, once again, you can take anatomy and physiology and pharmacology. And also, because you have to take your HESI A2 exam, it's very important if you take A&P 1 and farm, because they'll help you score higher on your HESI A2 exam. So let's talk about minimum score requirements, and you'll find links to both the testing center here at CTC and to this document, which contains all the information for your HESI A2 exam. The minimum for math is 80% for ADN articulating, 70% for VN reading comprehension, 80% VN, 70%. A&P is 60% and 50%, and vocab and general knowledge is 80 and 70. And those are minimum scores. And I always encourage people to score higher, just so they know that they're well qualified for our program. So you need to attend a program information session. You can scan this QR code, or you can click on the links and go ahead and log in. And there'll also be a survey on there so we can know how we did, and to get more information from you. Next, we'll talk about ranking. If you check the nursing student handbook on the CTC nursing website, you can look for ranking. Ranking is based on HESI scores, GPA, and if you've been ranked previously. You need an overall GPA of 2.8 or for ADN articulating, and again 2.0 for VN. You can calculate your own GPA, and with the CTC GPA calculator, they'll put a link in both the chats, so you can go ahead and save that link and reference it next time you're on to look at your grades. For more information, just wanted to go over our office hours. We're open Monday through Thursday from 7:45 to 5:15. Fridays, we leave at 11:15. During summer hours, we're closed on Fridays. You can call or email us, or you can schedule an appointment to meet with us face to face, well, mask to mask. Any questions?
There are no questions in the chat right now. I'm sure there are some questions. So anyone with questions for Sarah about any of the information that she's covered, please feel free to type it in the chat or get it out there. Okay, here's a question. What would the pre-admission session be?
This is the pre-admission session. So go ahead and click on that link, or use the QR code, and that'll cover you for the information session.
And just FYI, if anyone has missed anything from this session thus far, we will have this posted on CTC's YouTube channel later on this evening, so you'll have access to it and you can refer to it, all the links and everything, again, at your own leisure. And so it's a good reference. So we'll get that out there on YouTube. Just visit the CTC YouTube channel and you'll find it out there later. Here's another question.
Sarah,
Is the
can you
HESI
put
score just a cumulative score for ranking, or are they split into 4 sections for extra ranking points?
So The cumulative score is just for ranking. So you'll see on your HESI, if you've already taken the exam, when you look at your results, there's an overall score. We look at that. You definitely have to do it's split up into different sections, and you have to pass on the minimum scores of those each sections. But for bonus points or the extra points that we give is based on the cumulative HESI score, that percentage. Okay, and let me put the QR code up again.
Yeah, good question, Sylvia. Are there others who have some questions or concerns? Well, Sarah, talk about uniforms. I know when students get entered into the program, they have to have a certain uniform. So can you kind of
Yes,
address that, please?
uniforms, right now we're using, what are we using? Monarch? Right now we're using Monarch. If you go to Monarch, they will show you what uniforms you need. The uniforms, I can show you pictures. Would you like to see pictures of the uniforms?
Sure. Yeah, Monarch is a local uniform outfit in the clean area.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, here's another question. How can we get a hold of shot records to verify we have all the shots we need? My last shots were given to me in Georgia.
You, You'll need to contact either your school or any place that would have a copy of your shot records. If you're unable to get it, there's a nice blood test called a titer that you can have done on your blood, and it'll tell you what your immunities are, and you can submit that in lieu of shot records. But please be mindful, there's some shots that might not show up even though you had them as a child, which would cause you to need to get boosters. But you'll need to speak with your healthcare provider concerning what shots you would require boosters.
Okay. Hope that helps, Sylvia. Great question. Another question, are classes going to be in person for spring 2022? And what will clinicals look like?
Classes are starting to go in screen. Here's a picture of the uniform.
Okay, great.
So classes are starting to be face to face. Some classes will be online. It just depends where you're at in the program. Your clinicals will be at clinical sites. We're opening up, and it just depends on where you're at. We do have contracts with places like the VA, Advent Health, Baylor Scott and White. So it just depends, Children's Hospital, it just depends where you're at in the program and where you'll do your clinicals at.
Okay. Next question, the nursing skills class, is it only available once a year?
Yes, it is. It's only available once a year and space is extremely limited. So the minute it opens up, as long as you have all your other paperwork in to Ms. Butcher, you'll be able to sign up for that class when it opens for spring 2022 registration.
And when basically is that class offered? Is there a set time or like a month that it opens
Um,
or does it vary?
it it's an 8-week course and it starts, let's see.
It's the
So
first 8 weeks. It's always held the first 8 weeks of the semester. So when the semester starts, you have the first 8 weeks. So it's completed prior to the April rankings, which would be for the fall semester.
Okay, and the fall semester starts August 23rd, so just FYI.
Yeah, so for the ones that had are trying to for the well, let's say for example for this fall, the ones that are starting, students had already have taken the RNSG 1229 course this spring. And
Okay.
so they're the ones that will be considered was considered for the fall start date.
Okay. I have another question. What is the class schedule for ADN Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday?
Monday through Thursday, we tell students to be available from 8 to 5. You'll either be in course or you'll be studying. It's really an intensive program, so it's important to have that time available Monday through Thursday.
Okay. If you're already a CTC student, do I need to complete another application to CTC?
No, you do not.
Right. The applications are good for a year, I believe, if you don't act upon it, if you haven't taken any classes. So you should be good to go. Another question. I know it varies, but do you take everyone in that qualifies for the ADN program or a set number?
No, it varies depending on clinical sites and number of staff that we have, the instructors. So I can tell you from the last time we took maybe a quarter of the applicants, about a quarter, Tasha? Yeah, of the applicants actually got into the program. If you meet all the minimum requirements, you will either get a letter of acceptance or you will be put on a alternate list, and we pull from the alternate list if anybody falls off.
Okay. Great questions coming through. Here's one more. Do you use verified credentials? Is that an acceptable way to turn in vaccine information?
Actually, we have contracted out with another company called PreCheck, and they have a student check, and they will be collecting all your immunizations. Any questions regarding how you submit your immunizations need to be directed to them once you're accepted into our program. So any of you students that were already accepted, you'll need to reach out to the PreCheck people to see what is acceptable as far as turning in your documentation.
Right. All right. Does the nursing skills class have to be taken inside the program or prior to the program?
That would
Tasha?
be prior to the program because it's part of the prerequisites. So normally when a student is articulating, they have all the other prerequisites, also meeting the science lab GPA and the GPA for the ADM program so that they're ready for rankings in April. So that should be the only classes taken in the spring to be ready for rankings in April.
Okay. And when is the acceptance letter sent out?
Acceptance letters are sent out no later than October 1st for the spring and May 1st for the fall.
Okay. So if you apply for the fall, you should be getting that very soon.
They've
And
already
someone,
received them.
okay.
Fall has already received their welcome letters.
Right. And just wanted to double check, the earliest we will know if we got into the program is August, correct?
Are they asking for the spring?
It doesn't say. So just one more time, if you could go through the acceptance dates, the
Okay,
acceptance letter
so
dates.
if you applied for spring 2022, which is the application that's open now, and that closes June 1st, so make sure you apply now. Um, you will be notified no later than October 1st of this year.
Okay. And for those that have applied for the fall, this coming fall?
For the fall have already been notified. They've all
Okay.
been notified. Everybody knows.
Okay, great. When do the articulation students start in the program?
It depends on space availability. Do you want to talk about that, Tasha?
Okay, so for example, for the students that are taking, let's say for RNSG 1229 for spring, so they will get ranked the same time frame, which will be the fall time frame for which is April time frame so they get the same type of notification um, to go to start in August. So all our start dates are always August or January. So it's always spring or fall semester.
Great. And we have a question from one of our student services folks that one of the questions that they always receive is, once accepted into the nursing program, will there be a day and evening options for classes?
The only day and evening options is for vocational nursing, and that starts as soon as one cohort ends. So the current graduating cohort ends in December. So then we'll start a new cohort in January. So right now, if you're interested in the evening and weekends program for vocational nursing, you can apply now. The application closes June 1st, and you will start in January of 2023. You'll graduate in August no, January of 2022. You'll graduate in August and no, in May of 2023. I'm so sorry. I just totally messed that up.
These dates are running good.
So, and then if you miss this time around, we won't be offering the evening and weekend until August of 2023.
All right, great. And where do we go for the TSI status verification e-form?
Okay, so you go into e-forms. Do you want me to walk
Yeah,
them
if you don't
through
mind
it?
sharing that, so to walk them through it, that'd be great.
Okay, so let me just give me a moment to get up the right screen.
Not a problem, not a problem. We like to share the screen and show you exactly how to navigate through the website to get to, because we can tell you where to go, but sometimes it's a little confusing, and some people are visuals, so they like to see exactly how it's done. So we're
Okay.
gonna take a moment here and say goodbye to the lovely nursing uniform.
Okay. And we'll say hello to here.
Right.
So this is the CTC nursing website. If you see here, you go to ctcd.edu. Under student tools, you'll see student forms, e-forms.
All right, here's a question. If you take A&P2 prior to the acceptance letters going out, does that give you extra ranking credits?
AMP2, you need to have it done before by the deadlines that are posted on the website. So if you the deadlines for the prereqs, as long as your AMP2 is posted, so the deadline is August 16th. And so if you have your AMP2 posted by August 16th, it will count, you'll get extra credit for rankings.
All right. And if you retake a class, do you take into consideration the last class only? So in other words, the
Yeah,
remade class.
Tasha's going to answer.
Okay, so for if you're retaking, so for the sciences, if you're retaking the sciences, we do look at the most recent grade. Now for the pharmacology class, you have to be very careful about when you're taking that because you only have 2 opportunities to retake. So if you don't successfully pass it the first attempt, you have another attempt. And if you don't successfully pass, you're ineligible until those drop off. And the pharmacology is good for 5 years. So you have to be careful about when you're taking that class.
Okay. And can I still apply to the nursing program if I still have one more prerequisite left?
Okay, so I did put in the chat that if you are currently taking a class, if it's not going to be completed by the August 16th date for prerequisites, you will be ineligible to apply for the spring. So
Okay, so
that means it has to be, we have to be able to see it on the CTC transcript grade. And so it has to be completed by August 16th if you're applying. So if you're
so
in it and it's going to be complete, yes, you can go ahead and apply. If not,
okay, so in other words, all your prerequisites must be completed ahead of time.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
All right, great. Question, ADN courses, are they only day courses?
yes. The ADN courses are only held day. Only the vocational does the evening and weekends.
Okay, here's another question. It is recommended to take the HESI while taking my last prerequisite. Is that correct?
That is an option up to you. We have some students that have taken in prior. Some students wait until they complete their prerequisites, especially if they're taking their anatomy, physiology section. They try to wait until they finish that. But your HESI scores are good for 2 years.
Okay, and she says as long as she has everything completed before August 2021, because she's asking for spring 2022.
Long as everything is completed by August 16th, close of business August 16th, then you're good because we're gonna start prepping. But August 16th is the date.
Okay. If you're applying for the nursing program again, do you have to submit your TSI verification again? So I'm assuming that somebody's applied before and submitted that, and now they're reapplying. And so they want to know they need to submit that TSI verification again.
Okay, so it would depend on how long ago that you submitted it. Also, it would also depend if you did the TSI verification form, because I know the TSI verification form is kind of like a new thing that they're requiring everybody, all students to do, to submit. So you just need to make sure how long was it. So if it was like 5 years ago or something, you'll need to resubmit a new one.
Okay. And if I was to take the HESI A2 exam multiple times, do you take the highest scores for each section from each exam I take, or do you only look at the most recent exam taken?
We only look at the most recent HESI scores.
Great
So
question.
when you also be careful, I'm going to say be careful about taking HESI because I know sometimes people take the HESI and they pass the scores, and so they try to take it again and they don't pass it. We don't go back and look at your previous. If you fail this section, you'll have to retake all over again.
There you go. Now, on the TSI verification request, we have a student who already did the verification request, and it said ADN for program instead of nursing, and she wants to know if that's going to be a problem.
With that, it has nothing to, the TSI verification form has nothing to do with your degree plan, because once you're selected into the program, we are the ones that will actually place you on the degree plan, or the academic advisor will place you on the degree plan once you're selected for the program. It doesn't have any verification.
Okay, so if it says ADN, she's okay.
Yes.
All right, great. All right, I heard that ranking is based on a total of 19 points, I believe. Can you go through the ranking process again, please, for the ADN program?
So for the ADM program, as far as in general, they cover your GPA, which is your minimum can be 2.8 GPA with the science lab, or overall GPA. And then also what comes into play is your pharmacology. So if you take your pharmacology first attempt, you get points. So depending on what grade you get, if you get an A, B, or C, you get some type of points for that. That's only for first attempt only. So if you retook it again, and say you passed it the first time, but you retook it again to get a better grade, you don't get any points. It's only first attempt. Also with the ADN, because the prerequisites required that you just take the A&P1, micro, composition 1, and farm. But if you take the A&P2, you'd also get, and that's completed, you get extra, you get points for that. And then your HESI. So HESI is normally, they do look at the cumulative, Admissions and Standards does look at the cumulative scores when they're reviewing, but every student has to meet the minimum requirement. So we do recommend that you score higher. If you can score higher in the section so that your cumulative score can go up, because you do get points depending on what range you're landing. So 90% between this time frame, this percent, you'll get like more points.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And then
I
we had
see.
another issue where somebody's audio went out temporarily and they want us, can you explain the TSI verification again?
Okay, so TSI verification form needs to be submitted regardless of your TSI status. It needs to be submitted via e-forms. And if you have any questions, it's on the nursing checklist. It'll walk you through it. And if you still have questions, please email dhs@ctcd.edu and we'll be happy to help you.
Great. And can we apply to the articulation program and the RN program at the same time?
No, you have to make a determination on whether you want to do that or not. So, for example, we had have someone that um, well, say for example, they apply for spring to try to get into the articulating, and then they wind up, well, they didn't get into the spring, um, and they had to take the R. Well, they applied to the ADN program, and because they still needed the RNSG 1229, which is only offered in the spring. So when they were ranked, they were able to get in, start the program instead of waiting to do the RNSG 1229. But with the application, you only have one option as far as um, either articulating or the ADN at one time.
Okay. Will we be able to take our HESI this summer at CTC before August?
Yes, you can. My suggestion is you need to call the testing center now because of COVID restrictions. Space is limited, and if you're planning to get in for spring, you need to make your appointment now. Sometimes they book out a month to 2 months in advance. So go ahead and make your appointment now, and that way you have time because you can retake the test if you don't do well. But you have to pass the test all in one sitting. You can't, like, let's say you passed math, but you didn't pass reading or your vocabulary. You have to sit in one sitting and go ahead and pass all the sections of the SEA2 exam.
Okay. All right. Do you get points if you retake the HESI, or is it the same as the first attempt in classes?
Um,
The points are based off of the cumulative score. So whatever your cumulative score for the HESI, that's the points that you get pertaining to the
on your
test.
most recent HESI,
Yeah, on the most recent, yes.
yes.
Okay.
So if you did really good and then you bombed it the second time, we're going to look at the second time. So you'll
Okay.
need to retake it again.
And here's the question, I'm not quite sure, I understand, if the summer classes end on the 13th of August, will that too close? I don't know if what that means exactly.
Oh, I understand what they're meaning. So if you're taking a class, let's say at Temple College, you'll need to make sure that that August date that your courses, so let me see, I'm gonna look at a calendar real quick. So that August 18th date, you'll need to make sure, is it August 18th or 16th? August 16th. So on August 16th, you need to make sure whatever classes, if you took it at another college, are posted to your CTC transcript, and it's your responsibility. So if they don't get posted in a timely manner, when we pull transcripts on the 16th, it will not count and you will be ineligible, especially if it's a prereq class. If it's a co-req class, we'll pull on the 16th. The deadline's still good, but if you don't get it, if it's not posted on time, you're not going to get any credit for it.
Okay. And then Jenny wants to know regarding ranking, how are the points broken down? Also, what would be a competitive total point score?
Well, that would be admissions and standards that does the rankings, but like the things that I covered are things that you need to look at. So if you know, well, I took my pharmacology course and I got an A, of course, the first attempt, then you know that you're going to get points toward that. Same thing if you take your AMP2. I can tell you with most rankings that we have for the past couple rankings, um, most of the students have taken the AMP2 and completed that and then got them the extra points. Where some students that didn't do it, they still met the requirement as far as for the ranking, but not enough because of the extra points that somebody had for this AMP2.
All right. Do you guys have any idea what would be a competitive score in general for those ranking points?
Straight A's,
Okay.
90% or higher, and AMP2 taken with an A, and the first time you take HPRS 2300 having an A.
Right. That should help her out and give her an idea. Are the
Yeah,
English
that'll
comp
get you
classes,
in.
okay, good. Are the English comp classes good for so many years as well?
No, the only classes that have the 5-year mark is AMP1, AMP2, Pharmacology for Health Professionals, and Microbiology. All those other ones, your English Comp, your life span growth and development, your general psych, and your arts and humanities do not have a time limit.
Okay. All right. Is there still a practice HESI exam at the CTC Learning Center?
There's no longer, I'm sadly to say, there's no longer a CTC Learning Center, but there is a practice exam, in fact, at the CTC library. So let me show you how to find that real quick. And I promise not to share anything I'm not supposed to. So let me share this, my browser.
So just to further on that previous question, one of our student services folks says that English Comp is a core course, so those core courses do not expire.
Yes. So if you go over to the library under academics, so you go to academics, I can never get this to stay.
If you got to wait sometimes for that bar to go, that's going across there to time just right.
Okay,
There you
academics,
go.
and go to databases. There you'll be able to log into databases. What you want to go down to is the learning, hold on, let me show you. Learning Express library, okay? So you log into the Learning Express library, and all you need to do is on the search engine, go ahead and do HESI. And then here you'll find practice entrance exams here, and you'll just need to look for what tests you want to practice on. So here's a math. Here's reading. We do math, reading, vocabulary, and anatomy and physiology. So you can go through and utilize these practice tests. You can also do a Google search for, let me show you on Google. You can do a Google search. All you have to do is free HESI A2 practice test. you will find a plethora of free practice exams online.
Great, that's a good resource. So Google has everything.
Uh-huh.
Here's a question from Rebecca. She wants to know on the 1229 class, that's only required as a prereq to get into the articulating program. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, because she's applying for ADN spring 2022, so she does not have to take 1229 as a prereq.
Yes, you don't have to take that.
Okay, and it says, will it be okay to take first semester if I'm accepted? So I guess if she doesn't have to take it, she doesn't have to take it. Worry about it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Rebecca, if you're going to apply for spring 2022, you do not have to worry about 1229 if you're in the ADN program. So, all right. That's all the questions I see in the WebEx chat. I don't know if there's any more. Mariceli might have some in the Facebook chat. I don't see anything coming through. So here's one. Are the practice test exams what we would take going to well prepare us for the actual one?
Those are the ones we know of.
Yeah.
There's also on Amazon. Amazon has study guides too. And I'm sure that Elsevier, which is a company that produces the test, will have study guides available to you.
Okay. So yes, I am sure that they will definitely benefit you and prepare you for the actual HESI that you will take. So, all right. So any last ditch questions here? We've had a lot of great questions and we certainly appreciate it. And hopefully we will be able to, we've answered your questions to your satisfaction. So I don't see any other questions coming in. And Mariceli says there are none in Facebook right now. So if you guys want to leave any parting words of wisdom for these potential students.
Just email us and we'll get back to you. If you have any further questions that you think of after the fact, we're always happy to help.
Great. One last thing, Sarah and Tasha, both, if you would both type your email addresses into the chat. So if anybody needs to get in touch with you, they will have that handy. We'd certainly appreciate it. And folks, if you think of any other questions, later on down the road, please note these email addresses, and they will be able to answer your questions. You can email them directly to get the assistance that you need. So
Everybody,
thank you, Mia.
please don't forget to sign in so we can track that you attended, and we love feedback. So if you can please fill out our little survey and let us know how we did, how we can do better, and anything else, I would love to hear from you.
Okay, there's one last question. How do you all know we sat in a session?
That's what I was just talking about. Go ahead and click on the link. I'll share it with you again to sign in for the nursing program information session. And you will be able, hold on just a second. I'm copying it over. I'm putting it in the chat.
So everyone here should use this link that Sarah's about to type in and click on that,
Yes.
and that will
Use
notify
this
them
link.
that you've been involved here.
Yes. And please use your CTC email address. Please, please, please. So important to use your CTC email address. You can't even put your application into our program without using your CTC email address. That's another question that we've gotten lots of questions about is they're getting an error message because they're logged into a different Google account. You need to log out of Google, log into your CTC email address, and then you can go ahead and put in your application for the nursing program.
Okay. And where do we go to get the blood titer drawn?
You can go talk to your healthcare professional and they'll send you to the right place.
Okay. And
The
then
link,
Sylvia said the link didn't work for her, but the QR code survey, she did fill that out. Is that the same thing?
yeah, it's the same one. I don't know why it didn't work. Hold on.
And while you're doing that, we got one quick question here. So we can only take the 1229 class when we get accepted?
No, the 1229 course is for the ones for articulating. So if you're trying to articulate into the nursing program, the RNSG 1229 that's going to be offered in the spring, it's going to have limited seats, and then you will get ranked for the April timeframe. You'll get ranked for the fall 2022 start date.
Okay. All right.
So
Sarah, that link you just posted is the link to
yeah,
sign in.
it came up with an error for me saying that I'm going to an external. It gives me a warning saying
Okay.
the link is from WebEx. You know, are you sure you want to continue? So I clicked yes, and then it opened it right up.
Okay. So there's the link you should use, folks, to
Yeah.
notify your attendance here. So.
Yes.
All right. Great. All right, here's another question. Can we apply for both evening classes for LVN and full-time classes for LVN and just take whichever one we get accepted into first?
So if you prefer, a lot of people prefer the day, but if they don't get into the day, they'll take the evening and weekend. Anybody, you can only apply for one. So you can apply for the day, and let's say you're waitlisted, you can ask if there's an option open for evening and weekend. So we can revisit that after if you are put on the wait list, if you're waitlisted and need and want to see, you know, broaden your opportunity, we'll make that opportunity if we do have slots available, but you have to decide one way or the other. Childcare available at
Yes,
CTC.
CTC does have childcare. The Child Development Center is open or currently right now. I don't know if it's a limited capacity or what, but let me see if I can't find a number for you here. Yeah, I'll type in the number and you can call them directly.
Also, I want to make everybody aware there is a lot of money out there to pay for the program, so don't let that be a reason why you don't apply or you don't pursue a career in nursing. There is lots of money. We can give you resources so that you can make your dreams a reality.
Yeah, and again, we will have a financial aid session on Tuesday, May 11th at 10 o'clock here. You can check it out on CTC's Facebook page, and you can get information on how to apply for financial aid, which will help pay for your nursing schooling. So,
Yes.
I
Um,
also included a link because sometimes the nursing students, depending on their financial situation, may actually qualify for childcare assistance through our academic studio, and I put the link to that.
okay.
It depends. It's based on there's a few criteria, but it might be worth looking into if you have children.
Yes.
You might be able to qualify.
yeah, so
And
use that link above the phone number that I put in. Maricela put in the link for that, so that will be definitely beneficial for you.
also, Texas Workforce Commissions. Our program is approved by Texas Workforce Commission to pay for the program. So if you qualify for services, you can go to Texas Workforce Commission in Killeen, and they will walk you through applying for their program. It's income based, but it's definitely there, and we love Texas Workforce Commission. They really help out a lot of our students.
Okay, and then someone wants to know more about the resources for paying. Do you have some examples of resources that we could share with them?
Texas Workforce Commission is a big one. There is scholarships through our through CTC. Let me see. Let me find some links to share with you guys. I'm so sorry. So those don't open up. They're already closed for fall. But through the foundation, there's scholarships available. So I'm going to share that link with you guys. And you can set up through Academic Works. Scholarships are really easy to apply for through CTC. I'll tell you right now. They help me pay for my school.
Yeah.
So I love the foundation office. And you just put in all your information and you write your letter, and it's so wonderful because you share yourself with them, and then they match you up with the scholarship that best fits your needs. So it's
Right, and
very user friendly.
and you only have
Yes.
to do one application to qualify for a number of scholarships.
Yes, and I was very blessed to receive two scholarships this upcoming academic year. So I love them. There's also they have the pantry. They also have a discretionary scholarship. They also have Eagle Aid. There's so much resources, so you don't have to struggle financially while you're going to school.
Yeah.
I love the foundation's
Yeah,
office.
and the scholarship application opens up again in the spring semester. I believe it's early January and then it ends in March. So you've got a window there, but
Yeah,
go ahead and submit that as soon as it opens up and you'll be better off that way. I have
yeah.
another question here. So I applied to the LVN nursing program for fall 2020-21 and did not get in, but the email, it said it had a point already. I had a point already. So how does that
Okay.
work?
Oh. Okay, so this semester for fall 2021, we were unable, and I was devastated, we were unable to offer the program for our vocational nursing. Any people that already had an application in, what we're going to do is we're going to give you an additional ranking point when we go to rank again for the spring. So go ahead and put it in your application. I've notified all those students that are going to get that additional ranking point and gave them the link to the application because you'll have to do a new application every semester you want to be considered. That's one thing that has changed. So every semester you want to be considered, you'll need to put in a new application. Let me cover one other thing that we get a lot of questions about. I know a lot of people have heard rumors about us waiving the HESI. Let me put those rumors to rest. We will never waive the HESI again. So you need to take your HESI. Don't wait. Don't wait for us to waive it. It's not going to happen. You need to take your HESI and you need to do it in person at a testing center. You don't have to do it at our testing center, but it's easier for us to access it if you do take it with our testing center.
Yeah, and then to that end, what if we just can't do well enough on the HESI? And are there any extra resources or advice? So I assume that using those prep tests that you had mentioned earlier through Google and
Yes.
Amazon would be the answer.
Yes. Google for a free practice exam. Go ahead and talk to the library. They're so wonderful. You can call them and they can walk you through if you're not very computer oriented to access Learning Express. Do that search and just look for resources. You can also get online and look on Amazon and look for study guides.
Great, there you go. And also one other note, Linda from in Student Services noted that for those of you interested in childcare, there is childcare assistance also through our academic studio. So that's another option for you. And our academic studio, I will type that number in so you can contact them if you need more information. Well, yeah, we'll do that instead. They are, what are they? 1580. All right.
Oh,
There's the,
Sylvia said math dude will help you on YouTube for your HESI math.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, great. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
sharing that. So check
Yeah.
out Math Dude on YouTube and for those HESI, that's great. And does the
You
TS, I'm sorry, go ahead.
go ahead. I'm
Okay,
looking
does
at
the
the question.
TSI have to be in person or can it be taken proctored at a different college?
Your TSI, it's whatever CTC accepts. So I needed to redo my TSI math and I was able to take it online. You do have to pay a little bit extra. So first you'll pay your business office, then you'll call the testing center and say, hey, I paid the business office for whatever portion of the exam you need to take. And then he'll send you a link and then you'll have to pay another fee to the testing center, the online proctored testing center. I think I paid an extra $8 to take it online just because it was easier for me to take it after business hours because I work full time. So you can do it that way. And any other questions?
There's a couple others. One about the scholarships. Yes, you applied earlier, and I don't know that they've released the winners yet. I think that will still be coming. So if you applied for a scholarship and you have not heard whether you won one or not, please be patient. I think they are still in the process stage of determining those. So next question, would you recommend taking the HESI after we take A and P just to have more knowledge on the HESI, or would it matter?
So AMP, we recommend you take it about halfway through. Um, but take the practice exam, see where you're at. If you feel confident, I always tell people take the practice exam so many times. You can take it 100 times until you feel confident so you don't have that test anxiety and it's really a true reflection of your knowledge. So take it, take it, take it. And then if you feel like you have the knowledge, but if you haven't looked at a practice exam, you don't know what you're walking into when you go take the exam. So if you feel like midway through you've taken a few practice exams and you're comfortable, then go ahead and take your HESI exam. But if you're midway through and you don't know, anything, or you feel, or you don't do well, go ahead and wait until you finish or speak with the tutor just to try and get more information so you're well prepared so you don't waste that $50 for the exam.
All right, and to that end, Adriana suggested, and I hope I don't screw this name up, the Elsevier study book on Amazon. She said that has some study questions and it's a workbook, and she said it's absolutely wonderful. So,
Yes,
it's,
Elsevier is actually the company that produces the HESIA 2 exam. So your best bet is to go to the people who created the exam for study advice.
and for anybody, obviously it's available on Amazon. So there you can get that there on Amazon. So,
Hmm.
all right. So that's the last question that came through for me. Mariceli, any others that popped in on your end on Facebook? Okay, she says no, not on her. So we are good. And if there are no more
Great.
questions, then again, Sarah, Tasha, thank you so much for your time and sharing all this wonderful wealth of information to these students. So we hope to see all of you in the nursing program and all of you wearing a nursing uniform with CTC logo on them very soon. And so if you have any questions, the email for Sarah and Tasha are both here in the chat. You can get those and we will be they will give you the answers that you need. So
All
if
right.
there is nothing else here, we thank you all for attending and we wish you the luck. And also, again, if you're a military student and looking for military benefit assistance, check us out on Thursday, May 13th at 10 o'clock. We'll have a session just like this strictly for veteran services. And then if you need further assistance on from financial aid on how to pay for your classes, check us out Tuesday, May 11th at 10 a.m. where we'll have a financial aid rep here and they will walk you through any financial aid assistance that you might need or any questions you might have about applying for financial aid. So those again are coming up next week and we'll have those, they're listed on our events page on CTC and they'll be streamed live on Facebook, CTC's Facebook page, so you can always join us there. So great. And again, we'll have this this session here posted on YouTube later on, probably late this afternoon or early evening, or no later than tomorrow. So if there's anything that you need to refer back to and to see how things are done through the PowerPoint or anything that Sarah's walked you through on the website, then we'll have that reference for you through our CTC YouTube channel. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So again, if there's nothing else, we thank all of you for being here. So thank you again, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you.